Dimitri Fernando with you again for part 2 of my response to Bhoomi Harendran. So, coming back, so Bhoomi states that in the court proceedings he saw so much of hate. So firstly, what he saw was not hate. This calling of things as hate is a common tactic of leftists and transgender activists alike. When someone speaks out against them, it's called hate and hate speech. What it is actually standing up for the truth. Trans activists and leftists want you to believe that whatever they say is true, and anyone who speaks out or stands up to them and speaks the truth is talking hate. They have equated truth, which is to say there is only male and female, and you are one of those two, as am I, with hate. Why? Why is this? Because they recognize the power of words, and they have weaponized words. By calling truth hate, they know that they will make some people fearful of speaking truth, as they are afraid of being called hateful and hate speakers. Others will feel that what the leftists are saying is absolutely true, and if those who oppose them are speaking hate, then the trans activists must be speaking and acting in love. When they tell you to believe whatever your mind tells you to believe about yourself and your biological sex or gender. If someone is going down the wrong path and which leads to destruction, is it hateful or loving to try and inform them of the truth? Consider. Fayaz asks the question, is this hate coming from fear of change or just fear? This seems to legitimize Bhoomi's use of the word hate, which is false, since as established above, speaking truth, absolute truth, not this moral relativistic nonsense of my truth, your truth, his truth, her truth, where anyone can have any belief and it's all true. But absolute truth is equal to hate. This is what Bhoomi wants you to think. This is what the activists want you to think. Whatever trans activists say, that's true. That's the truth. What they call true is intrinsically opposite to the real truth, and so the real truth is called hate. Let me be clear. There is no hate being directed by anyone, either myself or in court, towards any other transgender person or towards Bhoomi or any trans activists. There is love, there is compassion for those who suffer from genuine gender dysphoria. There is a desire to move them towards getting the help they need through therapy and treatment, rather than affirm their illness. We show no love towards people who are genuinely gender dysphoric by affirming their delusions. That's what trans activists want you to do, and therefore make your children also feel so confused about their gender that they too would want to switch genders. This is insidious, this is evil, this is detrimental to stable society, and none of this is theory, hypothetical, or conjecture. This is exactly what is happening on a daily basis in USA, Canada, and Europe. Over the last weekend, the LGBT community, especially the trans movement, has made it crystal clear as to what their true intentions are. To quote a song being sung by the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus and chanted at Pride parades, it says, well, the short version is, we are here, we are queer, we are coming for your children. But the song itself says, we'll convert your children, happens bit by bit, quietly and subtly, and you will barely notice it. You can keep them from disco, warn about San Francisco, make them wear pleated pants, we don't care. We'll convert your children, we'll make them tolerant and fair. Don't take my word for it, go and find it on YouTube. Just look for San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus and convert your children, and it's there. So what is this tolerance that they're talking about? This is tolerance for the left, what the leftists, the woke ideologists think, not tolerance for the truth. We don't speak, nor do we need to speak hypotheticals. All this has happened already. It's happening in real time. Just turn on your TV, go to any news outlet on the web, and you will see ample news stories about this. Conservatives, patriots, and truth tellers have no hate towards deceivers, liars, and evildoers. We may hate the sin, but we certainly look with love and compassion at the person, which is what Christ commanded us to do, and as all other religions tell us to do. Our battle is not with flesh and blood, but with principalities and powers. No religion says to tolerate evil. No religion says to affirm delusions and evil. No religion says that anyone can believe whatever they want and everything is true regardless of what absolute truth says. Moral relativism is condemned by all religions, as they all hold to absolute truths. Moral relativism is a product of leftism and postmodernist thinking, which seeks to cast aside all religious belief because whichever the religion, postmodernism has contempt for it. Since it believes, that is to say, the religion will believes in one absolute truth or another absolute truth. Consider the religions. Every one of them speaks of absolute truth. So firstly, we have no hate towards people. We also don't hate change. We do hate evil coming onto our society, our people, our children and our future. If some group of foreign interests are paying locals here to carry out or launch certain activist programs or actions in order to destabilize, weaken or ruin our country and people for their nefarious goals, yes, that we hate. We hate all that. But we don't hate change. If change is coming which is evil, we will stand up to it. If change that's coming is good, we will support it. Consider that many scientists who discovered revolutionary things operated from a Christian perspective, a Christian worldview where they believed that science and the universe were orderly and created by God, the ultimate designer, to work in orderly ways. Secondly, there is no fear towards activists. As in anything, we stand against any activist who speaks things which have proven to be ruinous in other countries and peoples. Therefore, to call opposition to the transgender agenda imported here by locals, getting paid by foreign interests is hate. This is a deliberate misinformation tactic. Let's not fall for it. Bhoomi says that people have no idea how to respect diversity. Let's be clear. People can have an infinitely diverse array of lifestyles as far as I am concerned. A truly free society allows people to live as they please, subject to moral and legal authority, of course. But none of these people who claim to be of a different species or gender should be allowed to claim protected class and how to dictate how others should think about them or consider them, nor how others should speak. We are not going to bow down to their demands of using their what we call preferred pronouns, because they don't choose pronouns, reality chooses the pronoun. If you're a man, you're called he. If you're a woman, you're called she. If the man's if it's a possessive, it's his, and a woman, it's her, and if it is a group, it's they or their, and their if it's something they're possessive, and if also they and them. Singles are not called they and them, and only men are called he and him, and women called she and her. Pretty simple. Inanimates are called it. So, just because they feel male or female or wolf or whatever, we are not obligated to use these pronouns, but can use whatever pronouns are true and based on reality. Their idea that everyone else must comply with whatever someone says is repugnant. It's obscene. It is vile. It is an attack on the truth. It's an attack on reality. Any right-thinking person will not bow down and submit to it. People, get it into your head. Just because someone makes a demand and tries to bully you into accepting something based in fantasy and delusion does not mean you have to do it. Corporates, get it into your DNA to be real and truthful and not become based in deceptions where you submit your people, your employees to diversity, equity and inclusion programs which are basically indoctrinations into the delusions of gender ideology. We have seen large corporates in America go down this path to their own detriment. Latest to face the wrath of the public are Anheuser-Busch and Target. Anheuser-Busch lost $27 billion over a matter of weeks by their support of Dylan Mulvaney, a trans activist, using their product called Bud Light beer. People didn't like it. It was completely opposed by the public and to the tune of $27 billion, that's billion dollars. We locally also there are several multinationals and conglomerates who have initiated DEI programs for their staff. They too will face the wrath of the public once the public sees how detrimental gender ideology is to their society, their families, and especially for their children. So now, why is it that truth when it's opposed to what the gender activists say needs to be called hate speech and suppressed. This is the same tactic that's used in the West. Conservatives kept silent, thinking that this was the decent, kind and noble thing to do. The leftists, the gender activists, ran roughshod over them and passed laws that muzzled the truth. Now, thousands of castrated, maimed and sterilized youth later, conservatives and the general public are finally awakening. Any man here can choose to live as a woman in their individual capacity. Any woman can choose to live as a man. But neither does the man become a woman or the woman become a man. The rest of us are not obligated to buy in or tie in to their gender dysphoria or gender identity confusion. Maybe they are effeminate men or over-masculine women. Maybe they are homosexuals. At least have chosen to live a homosexual lifestyle. Either way, we don't have to call men women or women men. Anyone can dress however they please, but they cannot expect all of us to cast aside biological and logical fact and call them as they choose to identify. Their identification as a turtle, wolf, man, woman, or some other gender on an infinite spectrum are all symptoms of some mental disorder. I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but there are many. Furthermore, they cannot try to spread an agenda by getting into the school curriculums that there are infinite genders and that whatever you feel, that is what you are, reality be damned. Bhoomi thinks that the public accepting diversity will remove their comfort zone. No. This is a standard tactic of leftists and trans activists. They seek to normalize their stance by painting the real normality, the real truth as hateful. Then they portray their deviant behavior or delusion as diversity, and everyone, of course, should be accepting of diversity. Then people, because they don't want to seem bigoted or prejudiced or haters, fall in line with the trans agenda or the leftist agenda. This has nothing to do with my comfort zone. All who speak the truth, whether here or in the West, the leftist, woke and trans ideology has run rampant, knows full well the true colors of these activists. They will say the most vile things about conservatives. They will ban them on their platforms, shadow ban them, vilify them on their own social media channels and platforms, call them all manner of names, speak lies about them, dox them, reveal their addresses, and tell people to harass them. They will give death threats to them. These are standard operating procedure among leftists. The rest of the program refers to how Bhoomi's family treated him when he came out to them. This is a typical reaction. Many trans people have had the same experience from family members. And this is not a good reaction. Casting them out of the family in a harsh way does not solve anything. What is needed is compassion, kindness, and seeking to help them. To overcome their gender confusion, or if gender dysphoria, getting them suitable therapy and treatment. I fully endorse treating trans people with utmost kindness and compassion. It is known fact that many kids at various ages play at being of the opposite sex. Depending on family environment, this can later lead to the child choosing to live a homosexual or heterosexual lifestyle. Many teenagers with their changing bodies, hormones, and minds have gender confusion, but this subsides in their late teens and early 20s. This too is a known fact. It is completely wrong to tell someone that they are a girl just because they feel like a girl trapped in a boy's body, or that just because they feel like a boy trapped inside a girl's body, they are actually a boy. And because they are what they feel, that they should then go to radical lengths to change their body. The results of this is catastrophic. Before we open the floodgates that are now open in the West, shouldn't we at the very least consider what has befallen others who also thought they were progressive, forward-thinking, open-minded, broad-minded, tolerant, kind, and enlightened? Look at the state of USA, Europe, Canada. When it comes to trans activism, these countries took the forefront, thinking they were being noble and broad-minded, and now they are reaping the whirlwind. Many are detransitioning and speaking out on various social media about the lies they were told in the midst of their gender dysphoria. That's the end of part 2 of this reply, and there's another part coming up. Like, subscribe, and share this channel with your friends. Tell your friends to subscribe as well. Find out how you can support this channel, and send me your information as well. Do comment on this video. Tell me what you think about it. This is Dimitri Fernando, Nation's Watchman, signing off for now.